My name is Ry Russo-Young, and I made You Won't Miss Me. You Won't Miss Me is a kaleidoscopic portrait of a character named Shelley Brown, who's 23 years old, who was recently released from a psychiatric hospital. You don't know how long she was there, but it basically the film begins with her life when she is getting out of the hospital, and it's her reintegration back into society. But it's basically a portrait of this character that you see in all these different lights. You see her inner thoughts, and then you also see how she is in these very real verite situations. So there's this juxtaposition and this conflict between how we legitimize ourselves to ourselves and then how we interact in the real world and what people think of us. Well, we co-wrote it. Stella Schnabel is the lead actress who plays Shelley Brown, and we wrote the film together. We created the character. Basically what we did was we wrote a biography of this character together, and then I sat and I interviewed the character for about 5 hours. And then I took that footage and I went home and I started writing the script and the outline based on that original interview and that biography. Yeah, every film was different, and the way that I fund every film was different. This film was funded by mainly 2 grants, one from New York State Council of the Arts. And that was really appropriate for this movie, for the way that I wanted to make it, and for how I made it, and for what it was, actually. I think one of my biggest challenges while making You Won't Miss Me was figuring out how to move in editing, how to move the narrative along, how to have people really empathize with Shelley and become inside her world, and still not have a ABCD, plot structure. To really maintain something that is formally different, but also really entertaining and really moving. When you shoot on different formats, you have to conform all the formats to one format. So sometimes we shot on different frame rates, and we shot on different speeds, and of course, we shot on Super 16, so that had to be telecine and color corrected. Everything has its own look, so there's a certain challenge in maintaining the integrity of each format and the individual look of each format, but then making sure that they seamlessly cut together so that the audience doesn't really notice a format change, they feel a format change. Always trust your instincts. Your instincts are kind of the one thing that you really have that are yours. And so sometimes you get an inkling, you'll be doing something and you say, I just think that maybe we should be shooting it from over there, and the DP is saying no, or your cameraman, or you, in some part in your mind, you're shooting over here and you don't want to interrupt the action, so you want to go shoot over here. Do it. If you're thinking it 99% of the time, you say, oh, I should have been over there, and I knew that at the time, and why didn't I do that? So that's the trick, I think, is to just follow your instincts, because your instincts are always right.
It takes courage to show how much you love someone and not scare them with it. Perhaps I've become more open to the ideas that other people have.